In the picturesque town of Meadowbrook, there lived a young boy named Raphael. Raphael was a talkative and inquisitive soul, always eager to explore the world through conversation and connection. Raphael, around 10 years old, wakes up with a smile on his face. His room is filled with toys, books, and posters of his favorite superheroes. He sits up in bed, ready to take on the day.
Good morning, Mr. Teddy. How did you sleep last night? Did you have any teddy bear dreams?
Mr. Teddy, the stuffed bear, doesn't respond, but Raphael carries on the one-sided conversation as if it were completely natural. Raphael's love for talking was infectious. He found conversation in the most unexpected places. Raphael joins his parents, Emma and David, at the breakfast table. His parents exchanged a knowing glance, anticipating another morning filled with Raphael's chatter.
Mom, Dad, guess what I learned yesterday at school? We talked about dinosaurs. Did you know that T-Rex had tiny arms?
That's fascinating, Raphael. We love hearing about your day.
You're quite the storyteller, buddy.
Raphael continues talking as he eats his cereal, sharing tales of his school adventures.
And then, during recess, I played with Mark, and we built the tallest sandcastle ever. Well, it was actually a sand skyscraper.
The breakfast table is filled with warmth and laughter, a perfect start to the day. Raphael and his parents enjoy a sunny day at the park. Raphael's curiosity knows no bounds as he approaches a friendly elderly couple.
Hi, my name's Raphael. What's your name? Have you been coming to this park for a long time? Do you have grandkids? I have a teddy bear named Mr. Teddy.
We're Margaret and George, Raphael. Nice to meet you.
You're quite the talker, young man.
The elderly couple shares stories of their grandchildren, and Raphael listens intently, soaking up their wisdom.
Raphael, you remind us of our grandson. He's just as curious as you are.
Really? I'd love to meet him someday.
The afternoon sun casts a golden glow over the park, illuminating the joy of connection. The day winds down as the family relaxes in the living room. Raphael's parents watch TV while Raphael plays with his action figures, talking to them as if they're real. Raphael was creating dialogue for his action figures.
Captain Hero, you have to stop the evil Dr. Villain. He's planning to steal all the ice cream in the world.
Looks like Captain Hero has his work cut out for him.
Raphael, you have such an active imagination.
Thanks, Mom. I'm going to save the world, one action figure at a time.
Raphael's laughter fills the room, and his parents cherish these precious moments. Raphael, now in his pajamas, sits on his bed, clutching Mr. Teddy close.
Mr. Teddy, you're my best friend. You always listen to me.
The Teddy, as usual, does not respond.
Promise me that you'll always be there for me.
The room is filled with silence as he waits for a response. As he smiled, it seemed he had gotten his response.
Thank you, Mr. Teddy. I love you too.
The room is bathed in the soft glow of a nightlight, and Raphael drifts off to sleep, his dreams filled with adventures and stories. As the night settled in, the tranquility of Raphael's world was so serene. The sun peeks through the curtains, signaling the beginning of a family road trip. Raphael, with a backpack filled with games and snacks, is bursting with excitement. His parents are busy loading the car with luggage.
Mom, Dad, are we ready to go yet? I can't wait to see the Grand Canyon. I heard it's huge.
We're almost done, sweetie. Just a few more things to pack.
Buddy, you sure are excited about this trip.
Are you kidding me? It's the Grand Canyon. It's grand.
The family is now on the road, surrounded by picturesque landscapes. Raphael can hardly contain his enthusiasm.
Mom, Dad, did you know that the Grand Canyon is about 6 million years old? That's even older than Mr. Thompson, my science teacher.
That's ancient, all right.
I know, right? I have a theory that he was also chasing dinosaurs.
You're probably right, honey.
As Raphael continues to chatter about facts and trivia, David and Emma exchange glances, sharing a loving smile. Several hours have passed, and Raphael's chatter has not abated.
Dad, did you know that the Grand Canyon is around 277 miles long? That's like driving from here to Aunt Sarah's house.
It's a long drive, all right.
He sure is eager to get there.
He's just excited, honey. Must enjoy childhood as much as he can.
As the sun begins to set, Raphael's chatter has reached its peak. David tries to engage in the conversation.
Mom, did you know the Grand Canyon can be over a mile deep? That's like...
Like really deep.
Mom, it's so deep that it could even fit 10 million action figures.
You two are too excited to see just a...
Suddenly, the car in front of them slams on its brakes. Emma reacts swiftly, but the car skids straight into the railing ahead. The accident has caused significant damage. Airbags have deployed, and the car's windshield is shattered. Raphael, still in his seat, is dazed but unharmed. His parents, however, are slumped over the dash, unmoving.
Mom? Dad?
Raphael's pleas go unanswered. Emma and David are bleeding from their bodies, the gravity of the situation slowly dawning on Raphael as silence starts now filling the car.
Mom? Dad? Wake up!
Raphael's world shifts from one filled with constant chatter to eerie, suffocating silence. His parents' fate leaves him in a state of shock. The sound of sirens pierces the night as paramedics rush to the scene. Raphael is in the back of the car, sitting motionless and as his eyes are empty. Later, Raphael in his small frame shrouded in a blanket, his parents being attended to by medical personnel.
Hey there, buddy. You're going to be okay. What's your name?
The paramedic is met with only silence as Raphael continues to look at nothing in particular. The paramedic shares a somber look with a colleague who is tending to Emma and David. The news is grim.
We are going to get you somewhere safe and warm. How does that sound?
As Raphael sits in the ambulance, wrapped in a blanket, his world feels like a storm of thoughts and emotions, but no words. The paramedic's voice is distant, as if coming from a far-off place. Inside his mind, chaos reigns.
Mom? Dad? Where are you? Why won't you answer? This is just a bad dream, right? Any moment now, I'll wake up in the car and we'll be laughing about my Grand Canyon facts.
Raphael's mind conjures images of his parents, their smiles and laughter, but the images are overlaid with the haunting reality of the accident. Inner Raphael with tears welling up.
This is real, isn't it? Mom and Dad, they're not moving. They're gone?
Raphael's thoughts collide, each memory of his parents clashing with the painful realization of their absence. The silence in his mind mirrors the silence that now envelops him.
Say something! Please, someone, say something!
Inside the ambulance, Raphael's eyes are empty, and he clutches the blanket tightly. The paramedic's words fall on deaf ears as the weight of silence presses down on him. As the ambulance races toward the hospital, Raphael's world has been irrevocably altered. The accident has taken away not only his parents' lives, but also a piece of his soul. In the midst of tragedy, he has been left with silence. Raphael sits alone on the swings at the playground, his gaze fixed on the ground. The weight of silence surrounds him, a stark contrast to the laughter and chatter of other children nearby. His solitude is interrupted by the arrival of 3 bullies.
Well, if it isn't the mute himself.
What are you doing here, mute boy? Playing alone like a loser?
Yeah, you complete...
Before the bullies can continue their insults, Raphael hops off the swing and walks away from them.
Come back, you freak!
The bullies give chase, their footsteps echoing. Moments later, Raphael is beaten up in an alley by the bullies and doesn't even make a sound. His silence is met with their cruelty.
Hey guys, you want to see something cool? I got this from my dad's drawer.
The bully reveals a pistol, causing the others to drop Raphael and become captivated by it. As the bullies are distracted, Raphael seizes the opportunity, landing a surprising punch on the bully holding the gun, causing him to collapse. Raphael picks up the gun.
Oh shit, run!
The other bullies run out of the alley as Raphael stands there marveling at the gun and at the bully who has blood running down his nose. The bully looks up and is instantly terrified at the sight.
Hey dude, I was just joking around. It was a joke.
Raphael fires a shot at the wall, causing the bully to be terrified, his pants wet from fear. Raphael's face betrays a subtle change.
Look man, I'm sorry, I promise I'll do whatever you say.
The sound of a gunshot reverberates through the alley, leaving behind a scene of terror and a future filled with uncertainty. As Raphael walks away, his mind is overrun by just one sound after all these years. As the smoke from the gunshot dissipates, Raphael's mind is only filled with the first sound and feeling he's heard in years. The silence that has haunted him is momentarily replaced by the deafening echo of the gunshot. He feels something coursing through his veins, a newfound sense of control. He did not understand or care, The only thing he knows, he wants this sound to stay as long as possible. Raphael, now a 20-year-old young man, sits in his dimly lit apartment. He's matured, but the memories of the accident still linger in his eyes. His voice, still not heard. In the years that followed the accident, Raphael withdrew from the world. As Raphael flips through an old photo album, he comes across a picture of his parents, their smiling faces frozen in time. He gazes at it, his eyes, even with emptiness, drop a few tears. Suddenly, the room is bathed in an eerie blue light as a mysterious figure materializes in front of Raphael. The figure's identity is obscured by a hooded cloak, but an air of enigmatic authority surrounds them. Before the figure could even speak, Raphael rolled and pulled out his pistol and aimed it straight at the figure. The figure only smiles. "Raphael, I see that my observation has not disappointed. Such speed and precision. One shot and a life would be taken." Raphael looks at the figure, with no emotion on his face as he just continues aiming the pistol at the figure. "I am Cypher, just a man who has come to give you an opportunity, a chance, a life which will finally fill the emptiness that dwells deep in your soul." The mysterious figure walks around the room as he continues to talk, looking more like a one-sided conversation. "You see, I see what most are too blind to see, and that is someone who has a drive which could fulfill him in ways he had all those years ago." Before the gun sound is heard, as Raphael shoots at the figure, but it somehow doesn't hit the figure. As the figure continues talking, the smirk never leaving his face. "I seek individuals with unique talents, individuals who want to change this world. You, Raphael, are someone I want by my side." The figure turns his back to him, and who knows, I could finally settle the mystery which keeps lingering in your mind. That single statement, Raphael, shocks him internally, while still holding his expressionless face, and many thoughts and possibilities enter his mind. The apartment grows still as Raphael considers the figure's words, the memories of his parents, and the silence he's carried for years. The figure smiles as he turns back around, to seek redemption, to know a clear path, to find answers, then embrace me as your new voice. A blue light envelopes the room once again, leaving an empty room with the moon shining on the smiling parents of Raphael. Raphael, now 28 years old, stands alone in the cover of darkness, hidden in the shadows of a desolate industrial complex. His mission tonight is a solitary one, and the weight of it rests heavily on his shoulders. Cypher had entrusted him with this task, a mission requiring his unique set of skills and unwavering determination. The target, a high-ranking official with ties to a dangerous international syndicate, poses a significant threat to global stability. Raphael observes the target's well-guarded mansion from a distance, his silent vigilance unwavering. He watches as guards patrol the perimeter, their flashlights cutting through the darkness like searchlights. The moon cast a pale glow over the sprawling mansion, its imposing facade adorned with intricate architectural details. Raphael crouched low in the cover of the surrounding foliage, his black attire blending seamlessly with the shadows. Every inch of him seemed to be an extension of the night itself, a ghostly presence moving with grace and purpose. His mission was clear: infiltrate the heavily guarded mansion, locate the target, and extract critical information without alerting anyone to his presence. Years of rigorous training had molded him into a shadowy enigma, capable of slipping past even the most vigilant security measures. Raphael's approach was a dance of precision and timing. He had studied the mansion's layout meticulously, memorizing the patrol patterns of the guards and the locations of security cameras. His movements were methodical, guided by a profound understanding of his environment. As he neared the mansion's perimeter, his steps fell with a softness that defied the laws of physics. Each footfall seemed to dissipate into the night, leaving no trace of his passage. His breath, controlled and steady, matched the rhythm of his heart, which thudded softly in his chest, attuned to the urgency of the mission. A security camera, its lens glistening in the moonlight, panned slowly across his path. Raphael froze, his body perfectly still, a statue of silence. He had timed his approach meticulously, and as the camera's gaze moved away, he continued his advance. The mansion's sensors posed another challenge. Infrared beams crisscrossed the entrance, creating an invisible web of detection. Raphael's gloved hand reached into a pouch on his belt and produced a small device, a laser emitter. With practiced precision, he directed the laser to disrupt the sensors temporarily, creating a brief opening. In that fleeting moment, he slipped through the web of beams like a wisp of smoke, his form barely registering on the sensors. The security systems remained undisturbed, and Raphael moved deeper into the mansion's heart. Each room he entered held the potential for discovery, danger lurking in the shadows. He moved through the moonlit halls, avoiding guards and security measures with calculated finesse. Finally, he reaches the target's chamber office where the official stands outside on the balcony, oblivious to the impending danger. As he entered the office, Raphael's gloved hand reaches out, and he retrieves a small device from his pocket, designed to extract critical information from the target's computer. Raphael had successfully completed his mission, extracting vital information from the high-ranking official's computer. But as he stood on the ledge overlooking the sprawling mansion, a voice echoes through his earpiece. A message from Cypher.
Raphael, no loose ends.
Cypher's message was clear. No loose ends. And in a moment, Raphael understood the reality of his statement. The message is then cut off as Raphael turns around, pulls out his sniper rifles, and aims straight at the official on the balcony. He aims straight on the head.
Yes, don't worry, sweetie daddy, we'll be home next week, I promise. I love you.
Those are his last words as he slumps over and falls on his back. As we see the ledge, there is nothing but darkness and Raphael stands in the lit control room of Cypher's secret headquarters. The room is filled with high-tech equipment, monitors displaying various intelligence feeds, and a holographic map of the world. He wears his usual black attire, and the air is charged with anticipation. Cypher looking out his window at all his operators, some training, some deploying for missions. As he moves back to his desk, he speaks.
Flawless execution, Raphael, as always.
Raphael continues to watch Cypher as he walks and stands in front of his desk.
I've observed you for years now, Raphael. I've seen the way you look at that old photo of your parents, the way your eyes betray your emotions even when your voice remains silent. I've seen you pledge your loyalty to me more than I can count. But there's something more, isn't there, Raphael? Something that lingers in your silence.
Raphael's face continues staring, not even fazed by the mention of his parents.
Do not worry, I have not forgotten what I have promised you. To unlock the secrets of your past, and you can find the closure you so desperately seek. And be glad to know I'm closer than ever.
Raphael's face gained a flash of hope, which immediately disappeared, but didn't get unnoticed for Cypher as he smirks.
So you've given me good news, and I've reciprocated that same value. We will talk later. You are dismissed.
Cypher sits down on his desk as Raphael bows and turns around and walks out the office. Raphael exits Cypher's office, their recent conversation still on his mind. The corridor is dimly lit, and the hushed conversations of other operatives echo in the distance. As he steps into the hallway, Ava is waiting for him, leaning against the wall.
And there's the big bad himself. How was the talk with our dear Cypher?
Raphael just nods, which just makes Ava roll her eyes.
Hey, genius, I didn't learn hand signs for nothing, okay? We're a team, remember? So communication is our #1 priority.
Raphael just does a hand sign saying, yes.
Haha, very funny.
They start walking down the corridor together, their footsteps echoing in the silence.
You know, it's been a while since we had a moment to ourselves. How about we grab a coffee and unwind a bit? Come on, Raph. 1 cup won't hurt.
Raphael and Ava sit at a small table in a cozy coffee shop, the warm glow of overhead lights casting a soft ambiance. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee fills the air as they sip their drinks.
You know, Raphael, despite everything, there's something comforting about moments like this. Just two people sharing a quiet evening.
Raphael just nods. They sit in companionable silence for a while, lost in their thoughts. The coffee shop is a refuge from the world of shadows and secrets they inhabit.
You know, Raphael, have you been thinking about what we talked about earlier?
Raphael merely just stops drinking his coffee and gives his attention to her.
Raphael, this organization cipher, it's not what it seems. I've seen things that go against everything we believe in. Raphael, they're not just fighting for justice or a better world. They're manipulating us, using our skills for their own hidden agendas. I've seen innocent people suffer because of our actions. Raphael, we have the power to make a difference, to expose the truth. We can leave this organization, start fresh, and use our skills for good.
Raphael just continues to look at her expressionless and says nothing.
Look, we can't keep going down this path of blindly following orders, following Cypher and the shadows. We also can't ignore the suffering we've caused. I certainly cannot any longer.
She reaches out and grabs his hand, making him look at both their hands and her.
Raphael, I care about you. I can't stand by and let us continue to be pawns in their game. Then let's watch each other's backs by leaving this organization, by exposing their secrets. Just think about it, okay? Plus, there is no I in a team, right? So about a little coffee toast for, us.
Raphael looks at her as he raises his cup as they clink, sending a southing cling sound, as they continue to enjoy each other's company. In a secure warehouse is a dimly lit chamber with walls lined in advanced communication equipment. In the center of the room, a holographic display flickers to life, projecting Cypher's shadowy figure. Raphael and Ava, both in their black tactical gear, stand ready for the impending briefing.
Raphael and Ava, I have summoned the two of you for a job that has required my attention personally. Our intelligence has intercepted critical information regarding an imminent threat. A clandestine organization known as the Consortium has obtained access to a powerful classified satellite system.
What's the nature of this threat?
The Consortium plans to use the satellite system to disrupt global communication networks, potentially plunging the world into chaos. They have a specific target in mind, one that could have dire consequences.
And what's our mission?
Your mission is to infiltrate the Consortium's heavily fortified base of operations, locate and neutralize their access to the satellite system, and gather any intelligence on their future plans. Time is of the essence. You must depart immediately. Remember, you have one chance at preventing this catastrophe. This mission demands your unique skills and unwavering dedication to our cause.
You can count on us.
I await your success as always.
As the holographic projection fades, Raphael and Ava prepare for their mission against the Consortium. A subtle tension lingers in the air. Ava carefully selects her gear, her gaze occasionally drifting towards the shadows in the room. Raphael sharpens his combat knife, his focus unwavering.
Raphael, I think Cypher's intentions are not true in this mission. I mean, this mission seems significant, but Cypher has always operated in secrecy. Why has he revealed more to us this time?
Raphael resumes sharpening his knife, his thoughts unknown. As he puts his knife down, he turns and looks at Ava.
I'm just saying, we should be cautious. You never know.
Raphael just nods.
Hey.
Raphael looks up at her as she puts her hand out.
In silence, I hear your strength.
Their hands and fingers interlock for a moment. Their silent communication carries a weight of unspoken doubts and concerns. As they continue to prepare for the mission, the shadows in the room seem to grow darker, hinting at the uncertainties that lie ahead. Raphael and Ava are determined to succeed, but the suspicion about Cypher's intentions lingers, casting a subtle shadow over their partnership. Raphael and Ava approach the Consortium's heavily guarded base under the cover of darkness. The compound is surrounded by high walls topped with barbed wire, and guards patrol the perimeter.
We need to find a way in without alerting the guards. Let's stick to the shadows and use our stealth suits.
Raphael nods as they move gracefully through the darkness, their black suits blending seamlessly with the night. They reach a ventilation shaft near the perimeter and begin their ascent. Raphael and Ava emerge from the ventilation shaft inside the base. They are in a dimly lit corridor, their footsteps barely making a sound.
Our first objective is to locate the control room for the satellite system. I'll access the base's schematics and guide us there.
Raphael stands on guard as Ava's fingers dance over her wrist-mounted device as she hacks into the base's security network, pulling up a map.
Got it. The control room is on the second floor, east wing.
They move silently through the corridor, avoiding security cameras and guards. Raphael and Ava reach the control room and peer through a small window in the door. Inside, they see a technician at the console, seemingly unaware of their presence.
We need to disable their access to the satellite system.
Raphael nods, and they silently enter the room. Ava disables the technician's console, cutting off the consortium's access to the satellite. Raphael swiftly incapacitates the technician with a well-placed strike, rendering him unconscious. With the consortium's access to the satellite system disabled, Raphael and Ava begin searching for any information on their future plans. They access the base's main computer.
Let's see what they've been up to.
As they navigate the system, they discover encrypted files detailing the consortium's intentions.
Raf, these files mention a target, a global summit of world leaders. They plan to disrupt communication during the summit. We need to find out when and where the summit is taking place.
They continue to search for the summit's details.
Raf, I've found something unusual.
Raphael walks up to her to see her console. Ava's fingers move swiftly over the keyboard as she accesses a hidden file buried deep within the base's main computer.
I was looking up on the Achieves and the Shadow's name came up. I just need to...
Suddenly the words illegal access flashed on the screen.
Damn, give me a moment.
As Raphael scanned the monitors, he saw something catch his eye. He touches her shoulder as she looks at what he's pointing, which is a group of guards running in the hallways, indicating they have been alerted.
No, Raf. I need you to give me some cover while I work on this.
Raphael just looks at her as if saying this is waste of time. But he goes near the door as he awaits for the upcoming guards. The guards, armed and determined, burst into the hallway, their footsteps echoing in the dimly lit corridor. They approach the control room cautiously, aware that intruders have breached their secure base. Back in the control room, Ava's fingers dance across the keyboard as she continues working on accessing the crucial file. The tension in the air is almost palpable. As the first guard enters the room, Raphael springs into action. In a blur of deadly efficiency, he incapacitates the guard with brutal precision, swiftly rendering him unconscious. Raphael's assassin skills are on full display as he takes on the guards. He disarms one guard with a swift and deadly strike, using the confiscated weapon to eliminate multiple threats with lethal accuracy. He picks up one of bodies and leans out the door and starts shooting at the incoming guards, causing a bullet exchange to take place as the sound of guns echo through the entire compound. In the midst of the chaos, Ava, still focused on her task, hears the commotion but knows that Raphael has her back. Ava's determined efforts bear fruit just as Raphael continues to eliminate the guards outside the control room. She successfully accesses the critical file, her heart racing with a mixture of relief and urgency. She quickly plants a charger on the console as well as a C4 which she uses to blow a hole through it.
Raf, I've got it. We need to go now.
Just as Ava prepares to leave the control room, Raphael spots a document on the desk. Raphael takes the document as they both jump out the wall, leaving an explosion as their cover for escape. Raphael and Ava slip out of the base, their mission accomplished. They are careful to remain in the shadows as they make their way back to their extraction point. They take a break as they try to regain their breath, more for Ava than Raphael.
Are you all right?
Raphael nearly nods as Ava returns the nod.
I can't believe all the information we have found.
She pulls out her wrist device as she looks over the files of the shadows.
This just reveals most of what we suspected of the shadows, mostly about their true agenda. It seems they were truly making us their own personal toys.
As Ava continues to reveal what is on the files, a voice rings into Raphael's earpiece, with Ava being none the wiser.
Raphael, it seems I have uncovered the truth about what truly happened to your parents all those years ago. It seems that Ava was the one who caused the incident.
Raphael's world shatters in that moment, the weight of Cypher's revelation hitting him like a tidal wave.
It seems that she was a low assassin at the time, doing jobs for just any amount. As I promised you all those years ago, I would give you answers from your past. Now you have the control of what happens next.
The earpiece then goes silent as Raphael looks completely at nothing, the revelation sending shock through him.
But it doesn't matter as long we got each other. Nothing can stop us, right, Raph? Raph?
She turns around as she sees Raphael just standing there motionless. As she approached him, she tried to shake him. The dimly lit recesses of Raphael's mind, turmoil raged like a storm. His thoughts were a chaotic tempest, each one a lightning bolt of emotion, conflict, and pain. A memory of Ava's smile, warm and genuine, flickered before him. It was a smile that had once been a beacon in the shadows, a reminder of the trust they had shared. Cypher's voice, cold and calculating, echoed through his mind. The revelation that Ava had been involved in the tragic incident that had claimed his parents' lives was like a dagger to his heart. Images of their partnership, the missions they had undertaken together, flashed before him. The silent understanding that had defined their bond now felt like a fragile illusion. Their shared saying, a testament to their partnership and trust, echoed in his thoughts. "In the shadows, I find your trust," he heard Ava's voice say, and the weight of those words bore down on him.
Hello, anybody in there? You okay?
Raphael then looks up at her as he just nods. Ava smiles.
Good. Scared me there for a moment. Come on, we got some work to do. In silence, I hear your strength.
As Ava holds out her hand, waiting with anticipation, as she hears a sound which she never thought she'd hear, Raphael interlocks their hands.
"In the shadows, I find your trust."
Did you just...
The gunshot echoes through the area as Ava looks down at her chest and sees blood running down. She looks up and sees the gun in Raphael's hand. With their fingers still interlocked, she looks at his face, and the last thing she sees is the sadness and grief in the eyes of Raphael. The moonlight filters through the dense canopy of trees, casting a ghostly glow on the forest floor. Raphael stands alone in a remote clearing, a shallow grave before him. In his hands, he holds a small bundle, wrapped in a cloth. He kneels by the crude grave, the earth cold beneath his fingertips. The forest is eerily silent, as if nature itself mourns the loss of a life that was extinguished in the shadows. Raphael's face is unreadable as he begins to dig the grave, the sound of earth being displaced filling the air. Each shovelful of dirt feels heavy, like a burden that weighs him down. As the hole deepens, he places the cloth-wrapped form gently into the makeshift grave. He takes a moment to look down at Ava, her face serene in eternal rest. The moonlight bathes her in a soft, ethereal glow. With great care, he starts to fill the grave, the earth falling in a soft rain of dirt as he covers her. Once the grave is filled, Raphael stands there for a moment, a silent sentinel in the moonlight. He reaches into his pocket and retrieves a small, unmarked stone, placing it at the head of the grave as a makeshift marker. Raphael kneels by the freshly dug grave, the earth still clinging to his hands. He takes a deep breath, his heart heavy with grief and determination. With a trembling hand, he reaches into his pocket and retrieves a small notebook and a pen. As he hovers over the grave, he carefully writes, "Here lies Ava. A light in the shadows, in silence we trusted, in shadows we fought." With a final solemn look at the words he's written, Raphael gently places the notebook on the grave, as if sharing his thoughts and feelings with his fallen partner one last time. The forest remains still, the moonlight casting a gentle glow on the makeshift marker, a testament to a partnership that will forever dwell in the shadows of memory. With a final lingering glance at the makeshift grave, Raphael turns and disappears into the depths of the forest, his footsteps fading into the night, leaving behind the memory of a partnership forged in the shadows. The words on the marker glisten with a melancholic beauty in the moonlight, a poignant reminder of the profound loss he now carries with him into the ever-encroaching darkness. After all the missions, betrayals, and revelations, Raphael returns to the one place that holds a piece of his past, the bedroom of his childhood. The room is frozen in time, filled with mementos of a simpler era. Raphael sits on the edge of his childhood bed, a sense of nostalgia washing over him. His gaze falls upon an old tattered teddy bear that sits on a nearby shelf. The bear had been his constant companion in a time when the world was innocent, and silence was merely a choice. He reaches for the teddy bear, its softness a stark contrast to the harsh realities of his life as an assassin. As he holds the bear close, memories of bedtime stories, whispered secrets, and childhood dreams flood his mind.
It's been a long journey, old friend.
He smiles, a bittersweet expression that carries the weight of all he has lost and all he has become. The teddy bear, though worn and frayed, represents a connection to a time when the world was filled with the warmth of his parents' love.
You remember, right? You promised you'd always be here for me.
He lowers the teddy bear onto his lap, his trembling fingers seeking comfort in its familiar embrace.
Mom, Dad, Ava. They're all gone now. But you're still here.
His tears fall onto the bear's faded fur, as if washing away the pain and loneliness he feels.
I wish they were here with me, old friend. I wish I could hear their voices and see their smiles one more time.
With a heavy heart, he clutches the teddy bear tighter, as if it's the only link to a world he's lost.
You're all I have left, my last friend.
As he clutches the teddy bear to his chest, Raphael finds a small measure of solace in the silent company of his childhood friend. The room remains frozen in time, a sanctuary of memories and a reminder that, even in the darkest of shadows, there is a glimmer of the light of the past.